Hey Goodfellas! As promised, in this video we're going to discover the amazing production you guys have here at Otto Hutt. You know these people already. We have Nicole Klingel.
Hello.
And we have Marco Frey.
Hello.
Let's go check it out. Goodfellas, thank you. Absolutely. People here are
Out of the machine. Now it has
So we've already been here in the last video and I already introduced you to the construction department of Otto Hutt, and now we're actually going to discover a bit what these people do here. Explain us a bit what goes on here at the construction department.
We work right now from design drawings, and we make all the technical drawings, starting with a 3D construction, followed by all 2D papers for production.
Perfect. So basically the design from the designer, for example, the Otto Hutt Design 08 arrives here.
Yes, and you can see now here the complete pen as a 3D.
Yeah, sensational, beautiful. So the big task here is to actually make that design happen from a technical point of view, right?
Yes, so each single part is drawn, and then we have to bring all the measurements, all details on the drawing, that they can produce it, and that at the end, when it is assembled together, works.
I mean, I can imagine it's a hell of a work. It's always professional at work here. Thank you very much for showing us. Now let's go further. Oh, wait. So yes, show us.
This at the end is one of the drawings. The cap, for example. Here is an inner part, and you can see we have not that high tolerances where we can produce. These little tolerances are necessary real for the good function of the Otto Hutt schreiber.
If the item isn't well conceptualized here in this department, then in the factory it's going to be a disaster, right?
Yes, but right in the beginning, when we start the construction, there is a reunion of all the disciplines here in the company, from machining to later the assembly. So all the specialists are around the table to discuss the best solution for the project. Yeah,
that's interesting to know. So each department has to be there in order to make sure that the piece at the end comes out as precise as we know it from the Design 08, for example.
Yes. All these experience from each department is necessary to bring a really good solution.
Fantastic. Let's go to the next spot.
Follow us.
It smells like lacquering. So what department is this one here?
We are at the Lacquering Department now. As you can see here, different kind of machines we need for the special surfaces for Otto Hutt. Right at the moment we see is preparing a new mixer of lacquering for products.
So that's where the color is being prepared right here, right?
Yes, few colors we buy right from the sub-supplier, but some colors we prepare by ourselves.
By yourself, okay,
here
perfect.
You can see the lacquering of the tubes.
Yes, I've shown this one a bit yesterday, right?
This department is also used for the bicolorization of the nibs, for example, or screen printing and tampon printing. Everything is done in here. Everything color related is made here in this department.
Perfect. So this is where the actual color of the product of the pen comes out as we know it then when we have it in store.
The tubes are lacquered, or maybe they are treated before, or they are treated also after, so you get a combination with the guilloche technique, which we will learn later, or with polishing, grinding. So there are a lot of combinations.
Perfect. So this one is called the lacquering room, or how do you call it?
Lacquering Department.
Lacquering Department. Perfect. Which one is the next department we're going to check out now?
We go to the milling and turning.
Milling and turning.
Yes, that is the main part where the first parts from the raw material are created.
Perfect, let's go. You see guys, with this view, it's basically like you walking around the factory, and that's the feeling I wanted to give you. Let go. Where are we here?
This is one of the biggest departments in our house. Here we do the turning, the milling of the raw parts according to the drawings from the construction department. But we have also some specialties here by with the treating the tubes in a way, also CNC machine, so that they are very precise and perfect.
Fantastic. Can you show us a few machines and what they do?
Yes, and it is. This is the very first CNC machine that was in the house. Here we treat tubes according also to specifications, drawings, and this for design too. And yeah, that guarantees the precision that we need for the assembly later.
Just look at how big and how many machines they've got here.
So, maybe you are a little bit interested of the first step from the design for cap end. And as you can see, they are produced by this turning machine, comes out from the machine and falling on this round table, that they are really not damaged when they come out of the machine. And when there are some few parts on the table, they come on this tray, and at the moment they are full of oil, and this is the beginning of an Otto Hutt design form.
In this case, we're talking about brass, right?
Yes.
And then it's going to be, we're going to see later, but then it gets a bath on rhodium or platinum.
Next step will be polishing, and then it got this nice engraving by laser from the logo, the number, the Otto Hutt logo, and then it will go to the electroplating, where it comes this final shiny surface in platinum. Right at the moment we saw at the machine the raw material, how it comes from the turning machine. Here inside that the quality control, we make all the measurements that are necessary to have later on a very good part, but also we do a polishing process to make sure that the surface is very good. And now you can see here the difference before polishing and after polishing. So here inside, it's not only the measurement, this is the guarantee that the surface is also very well.
Yeah, that it is how it needs to be, right? And this is one of the machines that actually does measure each single component to make sure that the sizes are as they have to be, right?
The sizes are very special for us, because when they are not good, you have not the right functions and you will have later on problems.
Yeah, you're gonna have troubles when you're mounting.
So now we show you, for example, at the clip from design 4, the measurement.
So basically there is a very small tolerance also for these pieces.
And you have to teach the machine how the tolerance is and what to measure, and you need specialized knowledge only for programming of these machines.
Yeah, that's I think a good point to mention. I mean, all these machines have to be set before they work, and that's your people internally who do these kind of things, right?
Yes, it's not only to work with a machine, also to work with the measurements.
Yeah.
And now you can see A lot of measurements are very good. Some of them are not. So the machine has to be adjusted. Now it has to be proofed. Why is it? Do we have to change the tools or what else? This is really necessary to prove all the time.
Absolutely. And what does happen now with this specific clip? Since we have these two elements that are not that good, that is not in the tolerance anymore.
We have these both measurements. They are not in the tolerance, so we have to look, can we work after something that it will be good, or do we have to
reproduce it? Oh, that's very interesting to understand.
For luck, this machine is in the programming process, so it's production start. The worker is make the improvement of the part, and now he can adjust the machine that we have a good production overnight.
Okay, so this is basically now just like a first sample before you actually go into production.
Sure.
Interesting. So now you're gonna check if this piece is on point or not. In this case, we see that there is a little problem. They're gonna adjust the machine in the factory, and then actually the whole production will start.
Definitely.
Very interesting. What's the next department we're gonna go?
I think we go to the polishing.
Polishing? Let go. To go to the polishing, we have to go from the facility where also the office and the financial department is, down to the other production facility.
Shed 3.
Polishing is in the upper floor, right?
Yes.
So we're entering the polishing department.
Come into the polishing department.
Also called Polieren in German.
Here we have the hand polishing process. So we have a very few special products which we are not able to bring them on the machine. To get them with a bright shiny surface, they have to be polished by hand. For example, here we have the clip of design 7. This clip with its shape.
So this one is always being made by hand?
This is always made by hand.
Perfect. So this, and you mentioned this one cannot be done on the machine?
No.
All right. So right now she's taking care of the polishing cloth on the machine. It's also part of the work. This is a work that has to be done very precisely, because if not, you're gonna damage the piece, right?
Yes, so the surface is not good, or measurement get lost.
So then you have to throw the piece. And that's not the goal of the thing. Perfect. I really love this, by the way. I saw it earlier and I posted on Instagram, but read this. You gotta be great at the littlest detail in order to be precise. Quality, amazing.
Still Samuel, most of the parts are polished by machine. So smaller machine here, but also the big polishing machine for different polishing blocks which are necessary to make the parts perfect.
So here we have one polishing cloth, right?
One polishing part, a small item.
This is the last polishing process?
Yes, this is a raw material. It has a diamond cut, and the surface you can see later on. But that it is more shiny, more bright. We make a little polishing process before the electroplate.
Which is a very interesting part of the whole production. I've seen it already.
You can have polishing cloths which are necessary.
So this is all the polishing cloths that you can put in these machines here, and depending on the result you want to achieve, you're gonna decide which polishing cloth.
There are also different steps polishing.
Yes, exactly.
The first polishing process makes it, you need a very
strong one.
And here with the almost like a teddy bear, teddy bear polishing of the last step.
So this is another polishing process, right?
Yes.
It's very loud in here, so I hope you guys can hear us well. We'll try to speak as loud as possible without having to take any medicines after.
So you know that this is the cap of design 2 with
honeycomb, is that?
The honeycomb, yes.
Amazing.
And we have part which is 3 for individual name
engraving,
on it, engraving, yes. And this is right after the guillotine process. So now we show you how it gets polished to have at the end the shiny surface which you expect.
That wasn't shiny yet. It looked already very shiny, but that's amazing. How much? Show me the difference.
You see, the guilloche is very strange, and after the polishing, it's a little bit softer. It's for your finger, it's softer in your hand, and for that, the guilloche process is necessary. The polishing process is necessary.
So Herr Siebler is actually putting now all the bodies. This is the cap or the body, you said?
The cap.
The cap. So he's putting the cap of the Design 02, and you can see back there that it's being polished.
It requires a lot of knowledge and skills for polishing with the
Absolutely.
polishing cloth, the strength applied, the heat you produce, compound you utilize, so the duration, the speed, a lot of things to set up.
Absolutely. Now we're gonna go check out which department.
Let's see the guilloche technique. Maybe you're curious what that
Of
is.
course I am, but you already showed me. But these people here are curious.
So we show everything.
Perfect. This is a department that has, really touched me personally, because as a businessman, I understand how important coordination is, and when I come here, I see how much crazy steps you have in order to produce a pen, and then you have to buy the material, the raw material, and so on. So what does this department does?
Just let me explain one thing. With the Design 8 fountain pen, there are 35 different parts.
Yeah.
And every part has many production steps until it's finished for assembly. And here we are coordinating every part of every pen so that everything can be delivered on time.
Fantastic. So you basically are in control of everything that happens between one step and the other step until the product gets finished, and you are the person with the other person that works here that controls and knows where which part is, right? I mean, imagine how important this is, and imagine how much control you're gonna have to do this kind of work. And once again, it shows the German precision, how these people work here at Otto Hutt. I'm really amazed about that. Thanks for showing us. All right, guilloche department. That's where we have done the live streaming earlier on, but I think it's awesome to show. So here there's a very important point, which I have mentioned on the live streaming, but people who are watching this YouTube video now also have to know. Do you want to start with this, or should we first explain those machines? You tell me.
First of all, we show what's happened.
Fantastic.
And then we show how it is done. Here we have the tubes. This is before guilloche process. As you can see, there's nothing on, very boring. But now it changes. With the guilloche, we have here these beautiful stripes. This is a very special stripe, starting here, coming to the end, going out. And Maiko, now will you explain something about the guilloche?
Samuel, come closer. So, here you can see the setup of the guilloche machine. The tube is in here, and there is a cutting tool which is applied to this tube, and which each station here is set individually. And this process is, you have to imagine, to cut, it's cut into the metal as you would cut it with a knife and your thumb.
So how do you buy a machine like this?
It's not bought. We built this machine ourselves, since there is no more any supplier left.
Yeah. So you cannot go to a supplier and ask him, please sell me a guilloche machine for pens.
That is not possible. In this way we do it.
Yeah.
And all this process is UNESCO World Cultural Heritage.
Yeah.
Which, yes, we are one of the company which still are doing
this kind of art. So you have to imagine this machine here was built by one of your engineers in order to produce and to create those kind of guilloche like we saw it earlier on, and it's just awesome, and it shows how much know-how there is behind this company and behind each single Otto Hutt pen, basically, right? Then here I know that we have like laser engraving machines.
Yes.
So basically that's where the caps are, for example, the caps are being put and then engraved, right?
We have seen right now at the turning machine the raw material. Now it is polished and it has the logo Hutt, the Otto Hutt logo, the Germany, and all those number.
Yep.
And here, in addition, you can see the layout of the logo of a German, well-known German newspaper, Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung.
Yeah, yeah.
Which we are collaborating with, and we're making a nice project for them. And now this logo is applied on the top.
On the top of the cap, huh? Oh, there is an example here.
So you can see.
And obviously this is also gonna be then decorated, polished, and there's
electroplated.
Electroplated.
Yeah.
That's because polished, it's already polished, you said?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be electroplated, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Next step.
We go to the electroplating.
Electroplating?
Yes.
Let go. So good, fellas. We are in the galvanization department, right?
Yes, come and see what's happening.
Let's see. This is another department that I'm very amazed by.
Yes.
Tell us.
Here are the parts, and they go into the galvanic machine, and then they get plated. Mostly it took minimum 20 minutes for one thing, pass all the parts.
The parts. I'm gonna go all the different baths, right? It starts somewhere here, and it does all the round back to here.
It starts with the cleaning process, so all the parts are 100% clean, grease-free. I mean, every part has its own difficulties, and then they are electroplated with the gold and platinum, palladium, titanium parts.
Depending on the model of. I think it's very interesting what you mentioned. So there is not just gold bath where you put the piece in and it comes out in gold, but there is a whole process of cleaning up the part and making sure that the part is perfectly and there is no dust and nothing up until it does the whole process. You see how the machine also moves. So when actually the buff is being made, they put it in and it moves this way.
It's a very advanced electroplating unit. There is no wastewater out of the entire electroplating. We do.
Look at this, I just got scared.
We recycle the water internally, and there is definitely no wastewater out of the entire unit.
That's so interesting because you have put a lot of attention into the recycling part of what you're doing.
I mean, everything is recycled, the bodies,
the material also,
material
right?
On the other, the material from the décolletage.
So everything that is being turned and there is...
everything is recycled.
Is recycled. Amazing.
And also we have here the heating system for the baths.
Yes.
Is made on a basis of a decentralized heating system which we operate here internally.
That's amazing. That's really, really impressive, guys. Look at this. I think one more point we have to check out is the station down there. Wait, before we do that, Nicole is calling us. She wants to show us
the final result. Now you have gone through the whole factory with the cap end of design from raw material, polishing, laser engraving, and now at the end the beautiful shining surface of platinum.
Amazing. Nicole, yesterday you showed me that, you know, the base there where everything is being set. Let's go check it out and explain me that.
With me.
Oh, you know, we see the bath and everything and that's all nice. But what is this what we see on your back?
Within the bath, you know, you come with the parts and the material, the gold, the platinum goes onto the part and make a layer on it. So the part loses, the bath loses some parts. These chemical mixtures are automatically going to the bath so that it always have the same consistent, and if they come the next part that they have the same conditions.
So the person who takes care of this has to be extremely precise, right?
Yes, he has all the knowledge he has to make sure that we have always the same conditions.
That's impressive, you know. Again, it shows how much work it takes to actually have a person who's able to set these machines so that then the bath has the right setting.
This is in general here in the company, in each discipline, in each department. We have the necessary specialists, and what we also do, we give younger people the chance to learn the trade here
Very
in the company,
nice.
and also in the business area, but also in the
production area. So tell me, what is this?
Water recycling unit, which neutralizes everything and which takes care that the water we get from the electroplating can be used again. And at the end, it's here in the bigger container, which is a storage for the water we can use
for the production then.
Production, because it is not normal water, it has to meet specific requirements as well.
Fantastic. The place where now it's 3 p.m. so people have started leaving because they start very, very early in the morning. But this is where the whole assembly of the pens is being made, right?
Yes. Here are all parts come together when they are really good, and then they will be assembled together for a pen. So we have different working places. For example, the rollerball grip section is made by 4 parts. Now this is left and this coming.
And it's all mechanical, right? So you can all screw it.
No, it's all made. The assembly is made 100% by hand.
By hand. So, but the parts are, some parts are glued, but most of the parts are actually screwed in. Sure. So it shows the engineering behind the pen, also, right?
And that is the result of the construction. Everything comes into place right here.
That first department we saw shows the importance of what happens then here, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, very nice. Let's go now. So this is the quality control department, right?
Here at the quality control department, we have quality control between production steps, as you can see here from design 7. Here we control the surface and the gouache process. Awesome. If everything is all right, it goes to the next production step. We also control all parts, all pens which are ready, so the pens get cleaned.
This is alcohol, right?
Yes, with an alcohol that all fingerprints went off. We control the function, we screw the cap, we take care of the nape, and when it's cleaned, all functions are okay, it goes to the packaging.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for showing us all these production steps, guys. I think it's been very, very informative. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm pretty sure that everyone watching this right now is also enjoying it a lot. Goodfellas, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more content. Thank you guys for showing us around. It's been really awesome.
Thank you, Samuel, for being here.
Can't wait to come back. And you guys make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget that. And also don't forget that together we are changing the game.